Committee reports, legislative update. Mrs. Shorter?
I do have some things that I want to go over, and it pertains to Ed Choice. I just want to give a couple of details about what's happening with the program. So as we've been talking about, the Senate has approved this overhaul of the voucher system. This was basically led by Senator Matt Huffman. He's been an avid supporter of Ed Choice. One of the things that I think needs to be discussed is the way that he's allocating what schools are, slated for this list. Basically, there are schools that have been rated either A, B, or C. There are schools on the list, and there's a list that's available at the website. There are 13 pages of schools, and on this list, you'll find that in Butler County, we do have some schools. Hamilton specifically is on the list, and they have schools that have ratings of C's. In Hamilton County, I noticed that there was a school, Winton Hills, that was rated as a B, and they're on the list. So, we're happy that they're not penalizing districts in a way that pulls money, from those schools. But the concern that I have is if you have schools that are succeeding, you're still slating them for Ed Choice scholarships. Basically, more money is being taken from the pot. There's only one pot of money. And the accountability that public schools have versus the accountability that parochial and other privates have, it is not the same. As we discussed earlier tonight, we talked about prepared for success. That is an item that's on the report card. That is an item that we are directly graded on. And being on this list just means that parents in your area, with the income level being moved to, 250%, those parents can opt to take the scholarships, send their kids somewhere else. And the measures of accountability are not the same with this program. This program is better than it was, but it is by no means perfect. What we should be doing is having an accountability measure that basically fits all schools. If public monies, if public dollars are flowing into private schools, there should be accountability measures that are equivalent. The way that our 5-year forecast is disclosed to the public, that should be the same for other schools. The way that we are graded with that report card, whether it's prepared for success or just, traditional standards, every school that's taking these dollars should be accountable to the same measure. So it's not that we're ungrateful. The question is what's going to happen to that pot of money? If you're working from the same pot of money, it really doesn't necessarily make a big difference as to where that money comes from. It's all coming out of the same pot. And now with Title I schools being designated as being eligible, we have Title I schools. So looking down the road, looking into the future, I suspect that we're going to have, more parents that might take that option with our schools possibly being on the list. And it puts us in a situation where we start to lose, or we could start to lose, kids in our doors, and this is not supportive of public education. So I just wanted to go over that. I just want to make sure that parents understand that there are still buildings on this list that are rated as an A, B, or C. I don't think I saw any buildings that are rated A, but there are buildings that have a rating of B and C, and they're on the list. So the question of fairness still pertains. So right now, the eligibility for income is up to 250%, and the performance index ranking threshold goes to 20% versus 10%. And there is no measure for accountability between the two schools. I suspect that we're going to, have some legislation that possibly might propose getting more accountability. And if that's the case, bring that to the board and to the public. And I think it would be a good idea to get on board and push for that, because it's just not fair. It's just not fair to not have the same accountability. And right now, this is pretty much a done deal with the governor. I'm sure the governor is going to sign it. I doubt that he won't sign it. But we just want you to understand that the changes that have been made will eventually have an impact on this district. It will have an impact on us, and we all just need to pay close attention to what's happening at the state level with our education dollars. And we're happy that the Bob Cup is coming, but at the same time, their choice is still there. It's slightly different, but it's still there. So, we're doing the best that we can. We'll need the support of parents in case we need to push and support for some of these accountability measures that hopefully are coming as well. That's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Shorter?
No questions, it's just a statement. Thank you for doing that. That's reiterating all that information, bring it to light. And the two things you said, accountability and question of fairness, I couldn't agree more. It's not fair. It should be a level playing field for everybody if it's going to be given and taken from everybody. So I just want to put that out there, and thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, and thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. Just fairness, that's all we're asking for.
Yep.
Could I just ask for a couple clarifications? First is, where can we find that list? You said it was on a website. Can you give us the website that list of schools is on?
Actually, I got the list because they actually provided it in our OSBA chart there. So what I can do is,
I can send it. I can send it out to the board if you'd like me to.
Just a link maybe to that would be great.
Sure.
And then the second item is that, I know what you meant by 250%, but could you clarify what that means?
Basically, the poverty threshold. So being at 250% means that for a family of four, the limit is $65,000. So it's just basically pushing that level up a little bit more, what that poverty level threshold is. So for a family of four, 65,000 is the number.
Okay.
That's the new number. It was 200% previously.
Right, now they've moved it even higher to 250,
That's
so
right.
more families
More families will qualify.
can qualify, yes. Thank you very much, that was a great, we missed your legislative report last month. So I did give a little bit of an update about the OSBA delegation.
Yes, thank
So-
you. Thank you. That was one of the more interesting meetings.
Yes. Okay, the next item is the Butler Tech update. I would tell you that the application process has started for next school year, and we've received over 500 applications already, and last year we received just over 2,500 applications, and there's 800 spots available. So you can see we're a week into it, and I have 500 applications already. So Butler Tech mailed out 44,000 of these booklets, and it went to every household that has a 10th grader in Butler County and in the Northwest Local School District. Got a pamphlet, it kind of covers what the different programs are. And on the front, there's a QR code that students will be able to use their smartphone, if they have one, to be able to look at a live virtual event. Since kids can't really tour the buildings right now, this is an idea that they've come up with, that there will be some sort of live virtual event. And of course, it's starts December 1st at 6 PM, and if they log on at 6:10 PM, it's still going to start at the beginning. So starting December 1st up till whenever, if you decide on December 15th that you want to view it, it'll just start at the 1 minute point. I did ask that because some live events, it's like, if I come in 15 minutes late, am I going to miss it? No, it will start from the beginning. So I have that here if you all want to take a look at it and pass it around. They are going to have some tours available. They're going to schedule groups of 10 at a time. So you can go to the Butler Tech website and sign up for a tour, and again, 10 people at a time. They've also started target advertising. So if a student happens to, let's say, visit the Butler Tech website, and then they go to their, I guess, Facebook page, they're going to get an ad from Butler Tech because they visited the website. That was kind of interesting. I hate those ads, but it is what it is. I did share an article about a 16-year-old Fairfield junior. His name is, I think, Yaman Patel. He actually is, he's now an Amazon Web Service Cloud practitioner. So it's an IT certification that you can get, and as a 16-year-old, he now has it, and he plans on going right into the workforce after graduation, and the average salary for that sort of certification is $114,000 a year.
Bad for high school.
Not bad for coming right out of high school. I did want to touch a little bit on something else. I did share electronically this newsletter with everybody, and I just wanted to point out that Butler Tech, on the inside of it, Butler Tech's CubeSat team, which includes Fairfield student Vincent Aris and Fairfield student Trevor Amanza. They submitted a proposal, their mission proposal, to develop, design, fabricate, and launch a 10 cubic centimeter CubeSat into orbit in order to track and report locations of space debris orbiting the Earth. Recently, the International Space Station had to maneuver a little bit because debris was headed their way. I don't know if you remember hearing about that, but this is their project to do that. They submitted as part of this project, and they're part of the mechatronics team. And this, the phase 2 of this project will be to build and launch it in January of 2021 if they're announced as one of the 5 finalist teams. Hopefully they're going after a grant of like $5,000 to be able to do this. So it's a pretty interesting read. It's in that newsletter I sent to you, but I wanted to highlight that. It did include a couple of Fairfield students. And then the other thing is I want to touch on the showcases. So I want to give you some results from the showcase election, as it would be. We were all given those nice little packages in the mail, and they asked us to view some of the showcases, fill out some of the reviews, and send them back in by the deadline of, I think it was November the 7th, November the 6th, I think it was. And nearing the deadline, Fairfield was far ahead, so they moved the deadline to the 16th to try to get some of the other districts some time to turn theirs in. So Butler Tech received 29 playbills back. So I think we had 6 or 7 returned. And the results are, and then inside each playbill, there was an opportunity to have, I think, like 30 or 32 reviews possible for these showcases. So when Hamilton and Madison, Monroe, and Lakota school districts combined for 60 reviews. So that was an average of 15 reviews per of those school districts. Ross School District turned in 20 reviews. New Miami and Edgewood turned in 96, or an average of 48 reviews for those two school districts. Middletown, Northwest Local, and Talawanda school districts turned in 177 reviews combined, or 59 reviews as an average for each of those 3 schools. In Fairfield, we turned in 144 reviews combined. So by far blowing everybody else at large. So thank you all very much for participating in that. It gave me some great joy to brag a little bit about us at our meeting on Tuesday, at Butler Tech's meeting. I got a little bit of slack. I think it's rigged because of the president's school district won, but I did tell them it seems like we just care a little bit more about career technical education and the students than the other districts. So. And some of those districts, they did, we have 5 school board members and we have our treasurer and superintendent, so 7 possible people to send some in. Some of the local school districts have a representative and then additionally 5 school board members. So they had a possible 8 people turning them in. So we did more with less, just like our treasurer, Mrs. Lane, does.
That's right.
So congratulations. The superintendent, John Gratt, will actually be presenting some sort of, award to us at our next meeting in December. I don't know what it is, but if it's like anything else they do over at Butler Tech, it's going to be pretty fun and pretty good, so.
I heard it was a holiday bonus of some kind.
A holiday bonus?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I was thinking the culinary students would come in and
That
serve
would
us
be
a
great.
meal.
I mean, the culinary students to prepare a meal for us
That
would
would
be
be awesome.
amazing, so. So, and that is my Butler Tech update tonight. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your participation. That was a tremendous job. Okay, the Planning Commission, Mr. Bigley.
I'm even more embarrassed than normal to tell you I do not have a planning commission report.
Okay, and our very first Jerry Gundrum-led student achievement presentation.
I tell you, I don't know how Mrs. O'Neill did this because I have read so many fun and amazing things about the students in the last couple of weeks that it was hard to pick one thing. But I wanted to recognize freshman Kayla Carr. It was on our Facebook page earlier this week. Her art teacher, and I apologize if I get her name wrong, Colleen Larbs. Larbus, okay. Colleen Larbus, she posted a picture of Kayla's artwork on her Instagram page, and she was subsequently contacted by an interior designer because her client saw the picture and wanted it.
Oh, wow.
So she was actually able to sell a piece of her artwork through Ms. Larbus's Instagram posting. So I thought that was really cool that, someone really appreciated her artwork, and it was pretty cool. I saw it. It was a nice piece of art. But I thought that was really neat that, through something that you would not think, would get that much attention, somebody saw it and said, I need that, I want that, and she was able to sell some art.
That's amazing. Well, in the future, you can say more than one thing if you'd like.
Okay.
Any questions for Mrs. Gundrum?
Just a comment, how encouraging is that for Kayla?
Oh, yeah, I know
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, that's wonderful for her.
That's
Good
great.
Technology.
Yeah.